All right, so we're diving into some really fascinating stuff today. You guys sent in a bunch of articles, research, all about healthy aging. It's a topic that's on everyone's mind, right? How can we make sure we're not just aging, but aging well?
Hmm. It's definitely something we all think about. And what's interesting is how much control we actually have. It's not just about luck or genetics. It's about the choices we make every single day.
Exactly. And that's what's so exciting about these articles you all shared. They really break down the science and give us some clear, actionable steps. So, in this deep dive, we're going to sift through all that information and pull out those golden nuggets, those things we can start doing right now to make a difference. Oh, and before we get too deep into it, if you're enjoying these deep dives, make sure to hit that like button, drop a comment, and subscribe to the channel for more. Okay, now where do we even begin with healthy aging? It can feel like a pretty big topic.
It might sound counterintuitive, but I think the best place to start is by ditching this idea that aging automatically equals decline. It's not a downward spiral. It's an opportunity for continued growth and well-being.
I like that. A shift in perspective. So instead of dreading getting older, we can approach it as a new chapter with tons of potential. But how do we make that potential a reality? What are the concrete things we can do to really age well?
Well, across all these articles, one theme jumps out: being proactive. It's about taking charge of our health and making choices that support our well-being. And one of the most powerful tools we have is something we all know, but it's worth repeating: physical activity.
It always comes back to movement, doesn't it? But why is it so crucial as we age? We know it's good for us, but how does it actually help us age well?
The science on this is really clear. Regular exercise, even moderate activity, has a cascade of positive effects. For starters, it helps us maintain our mobility and balance, which is huge for staying independent as we get older.
Right, being able to move freely and confidently makes such a difference in our quality of life.
Exactly. And it's not just about physical strength. Exercise is also a fantastic mood booster. It can help combat those feelings of anxiety and depression that can creep in.
That's so important because mental and emotional health are just as important as our physical health.
Absolutely. And the benefits go even further. Studies show that exercise actually helps to keep our minds sharp. It can improve cognitive function, boost memory, even protect against age-related cognitive decline.
That's incredible. So we're talking about preventing falls, boosting our mood, and keeping our mind sharp all through movement. I'm already feeling more energized just thinking about it. But what kind of exercise are we talking about here? Do we have to become marathon runners?
Not at all. The CDC guidelines we looked at recommend aiming for at least 150 minutes of moderate intensity aerobic activity each week. That could be brisk walking, swimming, dancing, anything that gets your heart rate up a bit. And then adding in some muscle strengthening activities twice a week.
So we're not talking about anything extreme. It's about finding activities we enjoy and making them a regular part of our routine.
Exactly. And there are tons of resources out there to help you find activities that suit your interests and fitness level. The U.S. Department of Health and Human Services has some great recommendations, for example. Now, another crucial element of healthy aging that kept popping up in these articles was the importance of social connection.
Oh, yeah, that sense of community and belonging.
Mm.
It makes sense, but how does it specifically tie into aging well?
Well, research shows that older adults who have strong social networks tend to be happier, have better mental health, and are even more likely to stay physically active.
So it's this beautiful feedback loop. Feeling connected to others keeps us engaged and active, both physically and mentally.
Exactly. And one article even highlighted the healing power of friendship, emphasizing how these bonds provide emotional support and shared experiences that are so vital for our well-being.
It makes you realize that staying connected isn't just a nice to have, it's a need to have, especially as we age.
Absolutely. And it's something we need to be proactive about, making an effort to reach out to friends and family, joining groups or clubs that align with our interests. Even volunteering, all these things can help us build and maintain those vital connections.
So we've talked about movement and social connection. Now, what about the fuel we're putting into our bodies? How important is diet when it comes to healthy aging?
Absolutely foundational. What we eat has a huge impact on our physical and mental health, especially as we get older. And the research consistently points to the importance of a diet that's rich in whole, unprocessed foods.
So we're talking about lots of fruits, vegetables, whole grains, lean protein, healthy fats.
Exactly. And minimizing those processed foods, sugary drinks, and saturated fats that can contribute to inflammation and chronic disease.
There's that word again, inflammation. It seems to be at the root of so many health problems.
It really is. And one of the articles highlighted a specific dietary pattern that's known for its anti-inflammatory properties, the Mediterranean diet.
Oh, yeah. I've heard good things about that. What makes it so beneficial?
It's all about emphasizing whole, minimally processed foods like fruits, vegetables, whole grains, legumes, fish, and olive oil. It's naturally low in red meat, full-fat dairy, and processed foods.
So it's not about deprivation, it's about abundance. It's about filling our plates with delicious, nutritious foods that support our health.
Precisely. And the Harvard T.H. Chan School of Public Health has done a lot of research on the Mediterranean diet, and they found it to be incredibly beneficial for long-term health and well-being.
Okay, so we're moving our bodies, connecting with others, and fueling ourselves with nutritious foods.
Yeah.
What else can we do to really take charge of our health as we age?
Well, one of the most important things is to be proactive about our health care. Regular checkups become even more crucial as we get older.
That makes sense. Catching potential problems early can make a huge difference.
Absolutely. So we're talking about regular visits to your primary care physician, your dentist, your eye doctor, and any specialist you might need. And one of the articles specifically mentioned the importance of geriatricians.
Geriatricians, what are they exactly?
They're doctors who specialize in the care of older adults. The AARP pointed out that they can be especially helpful if you're managing multiple chronic conditions, taking various medications, or having challenges with memory or mobility. They're experts at coordinating your care and making sure you're getting the best possible treatment.
So they're like a quarterback for your health team.
Exactly. Now, speaking of medications, that's another key area to be proactive about. It's essential to take your medications exactly as prescribed, of course, but it's also important to have regular medication reviews with your doctor.
Why is that?
Well, as we age, our bodies change, and our medication needs might change too. A medication review allows your doctor to assess whether each medication is still necessary and to check for any potential interactions or side effects.
So it's about making sure your medications are still working for you and not against you.
Exactly. And your pharmacist can be a great resource for information about your medications as well. Now, let's talk about some lifestyle habits that can have a big impact on our health as we age. One of those is alcohol consumption.
Yeah, I've heard the guidelines on that have been evolving. What's the latest thinking?
It's interesting. The 2020-2025 dietary guidelines suggest limiting alcohol to 1 drink per day for women and up to 2 drinks per day for men. However, the advisory committee that helped develop those guidelines actually recommended an even more conservative approach.
Really? What did they suggest?
They recommended limiting alcohol intake to just 1 drink per day for both men and women. They based this on growing evidence linking higher alcohol consumption to an increased risk of mortality.
So the message seems to be that less is more when it comes to alcohol.
That seems to be the trend. Now, another lifestyle habit that can make a huge difference in our health is quitting smoking.
If you're a smoker, that's probably the single best thing you can do for your health at any age.
Absolutely. And the benefits start almost immediately. Smokefree.gov lists a whole bunch of positive changes that happen when you quit, like lower cholesterol, lower blood pressure, reduced risk of cancer, diabetes, lung damage. It even strengthens your bones and immune system. It's pretty remarkable.
It is. Now, let's talk about something we all need but often don't get enough of: sleep. How does sleep factor into healthy aging?
The Sleep Foundation recommends that adults 65 and older aim for 7 to 8 hours of sleep each night.
I think a lot of people struggle to get that much sleep. What makes it so important as we age?
Well, sleep plays a vital role in so many bodily functions. It allows our bodies to repair and restore themselves, and it's crucial for cognitive function, mood regulation, and immune health. As we age, our sleep patterns can change, and we might find ourselves waking up more during the night or going to bed earlier.
I've definitely noticed that. But as long as we're getting those 7 to 8 hours total, we're good, right?
That's the goal. Of course, everyone is different, and some people might need slightly more or less sleep. But if you're consistently struggling with insomnia or not feeling rested, it's definitely worth talking to your doctor.
Good advice. Okay, shifting gears a bit. One of the articles talked about the importance of dental hygiene for healthy aging. I have to admit, I was a little surprised by that. How does taking care of our teeth tie into overall health?
It's a connection a lot of people don't realize. The American Dental Association recommends brushing twice a day with fluoride toothpaste, flossing daily, and making sure dentures are properly cleaned.
So the usual stuff.
Right, but here's the interesting part. The American Academy of Periodontology has found that good oral hygiene actually helps to reduce inflammation throughout the body.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, turns out that the bacteria in our mouths can contribute to inflammation, which, as we talked about earlier, is linked to all sorts of health problems. So by keeping our mouths healthy, we're also helping to protect our hearts, our brains, and our overall well-being.
Okay, that's fascinating. And finally, let's address a topic that can sometimes feel a little sensitive, but is a natural part of aging: changes in sexual function.
Right. And one of the articles really emphasized the importance of open communication with your doctor if you're experiencing any changes that are bothering you.
Because there's help available.
Exactly.
Hmm.
There are a variety of options depending on the specific issue, from medications to physical aids to counseling and therapy.
So it's not something people should suffer in silence about.
Absolutely not. And the National Institute on Aging has a lot of great resources on this topic. Now, in addition to all these steps we can take to age well, one of the articles included a really important section on warning signs that should never be ignored.
Oh, like red flags that something more serious might be going on.
Exactly. While some fatigue or occasional mood changes might be normal as we age, there are certain symptoms that warrant immediate medical attention.
Like what kind of symptoms?
Things like sudden weakness or dizziness, shortness of breath, chest pain, tingling or numbness, loss of balance, difficulty speaking or swallowing, excessive sweating, changes in vision, rapid weight loss, prolonged confusion, or wounds that aren't healing properly.
Okay, that's a pretty comprehensive list.
It's definitely worth paying attention to those signs and seeking medical help right away if you experience any of them. So as we've seen, healthy aging is a multifaceted journey. It's about prioritizing movement, nurturing our social connections, nourishing ourselves with healthy foods, being proactive about our health care, and staying attuned to our bodies.
It's empowering to realize that we have so much control over how we age. And the key takeaway here is that it's never too late to start making positive changes.
Absolutely. Even small steps can have a big impact over time. So as you reflect on these 10 steps, think about which ones resonate most with you, what feels like a manageable and meaningful starting point for your own journey toward healthy aging.
And if you want to dive deeper into any of these topics, we encourage you to check out the full article. We've included a link in the description below.
And as you continue on this journey, remember that it's not just about adding years to your life, it's about adding life to your years.
That's beautifully said. All right, everyone. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into healthy aging. We'll see you next time.